everyone, and welcome to Books, the JKM Library's book recommendation show. I'm Jocelyn Codner, the Reference and Outreach Librarian, and as you can see, I'm in a slightly different location today. That's because I'm actually going to be handing it over to a special guest to highlight some really amazing books in the JKM Library's collection. So without further ado, sorry, my kitty is meowing at me. Without further ado, I present Carina.
Hi everybody, this is Carina, your Access Services Associate at JKM, and I'm here to talk a little bit about Transgender Visibility Week. November 13th through 19th is Transgender Visibility Week, with November 20th being Transgender Day of Remembrance, which is the date that we remember all that have lost their lives to anti-trans violence. But enough about that sadness. Why don't we celebrate Transgender Visibility Week with some trans joy? So JKM's catalog has a lot of really fantastic inclusive trans titles now. So I want to introduce a few of our titles to you all, some of my favorite books, so you can kind of expand your horizons and celebrate this Visibility Week right. So our first one that we have here is a really recent debut, which is Torrey Peters' Detransition Baby. Torrey Peters has written a few novellas that are a little bit out there, a little bit more eccentric, but this is her literary fiction debut. Follows the plight of three different individuals, Reese, Ames, and Carina, who are struggling with what it means to be a woman. Reese is a trans woman who desperately wants to have a baby. Ames is her ex who has recently detransitioned from being a trans woman back to living as a cisgender man, still dealing with some of those lingering gender identity feelings. And he enters a relationship with his boss, Carina, who ends up pregnant. What ends up being this really interesting, complex dedication to motherhood and to love and to gender and relationships. It's just so striking, very sad, but also a really interesting depiction of trans joy and love. Highly recommend this one if you want to get a good cry out, but also want to hug your people close. Another that I'm going to recommend here is Maya Kobabe's Genderqueer. Maya Kobabe uses heirs pronouns, neopronouns, and this is Air dedication to Air life as a genderqueer kid growing up in America. We see a lot of different complexities about gender and sexuality being related to each other, themes of body dysmorphia, and this is a graphic novel. So we have a lot of really beautiful illustrations present here in our graphic novel. There's also been follow-up chapters that I have added to this story that you can find online as well as a continuation, but we have the original copy here that dedicates Maya's story. One that is unfortunately checked out though right now because it's so popular and so good. One of my favorite books is Pet by Aqua Eke Emeze, and Jocelyn is going to show our cover for you all at the end of this video, so if you want to come find it in our curriculum collection when it's checked back in, you'll be able to. Aqua Eke Emeze is a Nigerian non-binary author who has written primarily adult fiction, but Pet was their deep dive into young adult and has actually spawned a sequel. But Pet is about Jam, who is a teenage trans girl who is living in this town where there's angels and monsters abound, and we don't really know who the angels and who the monsters are. Her mother, Bitter, is an artist, and one day she has a painting that, when it comes in contact with blood, summons this crazy monster called Pet from the canvas that is going to help Jam discover who the true monsters are in her town. It's a really intriguing, mysterious story with a lot of really lush imagery, a lot of really beautiful depictions of family. And not only is Jam a trans girl, but she is also a Black girl and a mute girl. So we're seeing these really beautiful intersections of identity with her character. All three of these titles available in the JKM Library collection. I would love to see you guys circulate these titles so we can celebrate Transgender Visibility Week right.
Thank you so much, Carina, and thanks to all of you for clicking on this video. Just a reminder, you can find the JKM Library on Instagram at JKM Library and on Facebook at Chatham's Jenny King Mellon Library. Again, my name is Jocelyn, and if you ever have any kind of question at all, you can always ask a librarian. Happy reading.